Good morning, everybody. Judy Tuttle here with Tuttle Up Stamping. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Midland, Texas, and I'm so happy to be with you here today. It's time to tuttle up, get some stamping done, dig deep and find that creativity and that fun in that community. And I'm so excited that you're coming to Tuttle Up with me. When you come on, please let me know you're here. I'm here a little bit early today because I have an appointment at 1 o'clock. And I'm afraid this class was going to go a little bit long. So I'm here just a tad bit early, about half an hour earlier than I normally am on Mondays, but I knew that you would understand. And if you don't pop in while I'm live, you can always pop in while I am done and on the replay. Before we begin, I have a few things I need to chat with you about. Some important, very important changes coming tomorrow in the Stampin' Up world, and I want to make sure that you're aware of those changes and that you know what's going on. And there's going to be a little dark period tomorrow where the website is down while they make these changes in the system. Okay, so I want to chat with you about that. So first of all, what you should know is that the Stampin' Up, hi Linda. Well, we hopefully I will help you spark some creativity today, Linda. Tomorrow, Stampin' Up is launching a new rewards program. Starts tomorrow. The website is going to be down from 8 a.m. Mountain Time until 4 p.m. Mountain Time. Okay, so it's going to be down most of the day. Hi, Dana. Thank you so much for coming. So that they can switch the whole system over to the new rewards program. Okay, now the really cool thing and what I'm really excited about is now you can earn rewards on any order of $20 or more, 10% in rewards. You can use your rewards anytime you want to use them. They're good for a year. They will always pull from your oldest rewards first. So let's say this month you spend $80, so you get $8 in rewards. And then 2 months from now, you spend $100 and you get $10 in rewards. And then the month after that, you want to use $12 of your rewards. They will pull from the oldest first and save the newest in the system so that you never have to worry about expiring unless you're just not using your rewards at all. Okay? So here's the important thing. When you log in, you must have a customer account, okay? So if you haven't set up, if you've always checked out as a guest or something like that, it's time to set up a customer account. And then they will ask you, would you like to opt in for rewards? And of course, your answer is going to be yes, because we all love free stuff, right? So when you log in tomorrow, you should see a prompt that says, would you like to log in for rewards, opt in for rewards? And hopefully you will say yes to that, okay? Now, as always, and I say this every time, the best way to save money on all your purchases is to join my team. Because if you join my team, that means you just get to be a little happy discount shopper. You get 20% off all your orders, and then you also get your rewards, 10% on those orders, okay? So something to think about. Next month in May, when the new catalog launches, they're also going to have a new join special, so I want you to be on the lookout for that, okay? All right, if you have any questions about that, please let me know. I'd be happy to help you figure that out. Okay, last chance list. There's still a ton of stuff there. So if you like a bargain, they are marking things down. They're letting you know they're not going to be around after the new catalog launches on May the 6th. So get your last chance things while you can. I'll be using some today, and I will let you know when I do. I have a big event coming May the 1st. It is a 3-part class. It is the Arch Wishes birthday class where you make 2 each of 3 designs. It is the classic wedding card class where you make 2 each of 3 designs. And it is the Wildflower birthday memory keeper class where you make a little memory keeper photo album. Is so cute. You can choose one, two, or all three classes. If you choose all three, I give you a little bit of a discount. This is a virtual class. Everything will be mailed out on May the 1st, and we will provide for you a PDF of all the instructions and a YouTube video on how to put the projects together. Hi, Jan. Thanks for joining us today. So that is coming up. Wanted to make sure that you knew about that. The link to that will be in the description after this video is over. And then my first big event when the new catalog launches is the Florals in Bloom project class. You will make 6 cards, 2 each of 3 designs. You'll get a half a pack of the Florals in Blooms paper. You will get those embellishments. You'll get ribbons and PDF on how to put, I said 3 cards. It's 4 cards. You will make 2 each of 4 designs. You'll make 8 cards. So the link to that will be in the description after the video is over as well. And last but not least, my yearly BOGO sale is coming up in person on May the 23rd at 6 p.m. here at my house, or online on Saturday, May the 24th. So BOGO means that I show you all my retired stuff. You can reserve retired things that you really want, and then you can purchase in the new catalog an equal amount dollar-wise of the retired product that you purchased. Okay, so let's say that your retired product adds up to $80. That means you'll go into my online store, you'll buy $80 at least of new catalog merchandise, and then I send you the retired product that you wanted for free. So more about that, but there's a link that will be in the description so that you can get on the Facebook page in that event, so that when it comes live on May the 24th, you will be able to watch and bid as your little heart desires. Okay? All right. So that's it. If you have any questions, let me know. You can PM me. You can write them in the comments. Whatever you feel most comfortable with. You can always email me at judyltuttle@gmail.com, and I would be happy to answer your questions that way as well. Okay, so let's go down to our hands today. I want to show you all the things that we're going to be using on our projects today. So we had not used yet this year. Monica and I were racking our brains. We really wanted to bring you a great class, and neither one of us had used the Around We Go bundle. It's been in the catalog this year, and it seems to be carrying over. It's not on the last chance list, so looks like it's going to be around for a little bit. Isn't this fun? These little, it's kind of hard to see, but you can make rosettes, you can make flowers, you can make swirly things. It's very fun. And I look at all the great sentiments. So you can say, this is your day, this is your year, this is your month, right? Happy birthday, happiest birthday to you, hip hop hooray, time to celebrate. So lots of fun designs in there. And then these dies are so fun. I'm going to show you how to use them today. And this one creates the rosettes that we're going to use on one of our cards, okay? So the stamp set alone is $20. The dies are $30, but if you buy them as a bundle, you get $5 off, and it's $45 for the bundle. Okay, then the Full of Life Designer Series paper. You guys know I love this. I love bright colors. We'll be using this today. You know why I have so much? It's because I have used this on so many classes, and I pull out what I have, and then I don't have things, so I have to open up a new package, which I hate to do unless I absolutely have to. And then we are using the tinsel gems. First of all, the Full of Life DSP is carrying over, and it is $12.50 for a pack. Tinsel gems 4-pack is on clearance, I shouldn't say clearance, on the last chance list. Used to be $8. It's on sale for $6.40 right now. And then we are using the beautiful sheer organza and silver ribbon today. And I'm also pulling out the Lost Lagoon soft cording for one of my cards. It just fitted and it looked really nice with it. This is part of that otter suite. Okay. All right. So how about we get started? I've done a lot of pre-cutting for you because there is, a significant amount of die cutting going on these cards. So I did some of it ahead of time, and so it'll help us with time. Okay. So here's our first card. Look at that. Look at those circle pendants, these little rosettes, all the dimension in this project. Super fun, bright. Who wouldn't want to receive that card for their birthday? Okay, so we're starting out with a card base that is Coastal Cabana, and it is cut 5.5 by 8.5, scored down the middle at 4 1/4. I'm going to fold that in half, and let's get a good bone fold on that. All right, then I have a piece of that Full of Life Designer Series paper here. And I'm going to attach this right over here to the far left side of the front of my card. It is cut 2 inches by 5.5 inches. So let me get my seal here. Add some seal to this. Hi, Mary. I'm so excited you're here today. Are you sneaking in at work, or are you done with work? Mary's getting ready to make a big move from North Dakota to Wisconsin. And she might be in the transition of all of that. Okay, so now I have a piece of Berry Burst. This is cut 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And I'm going to add this to the front here, but I'm going to turn it just a little bit cattywampus like that. So tell me out there if you own the Round We Go bundle yet. It's a super fun one, and I can't believe I hadn't used it yet, and I'm glad I got the opportunity. Okay, so this is the white panel that's going to go on top, but I'm actually going to pull out the white panel and the 4 by 5 1/4 inside panel at the same time, because I'm going to do some similar stamping on both of them. I'm going to start with a Berry Burst ink pad, and I'm going to stamp these, I don't know, asterisks, I guess, party asterisks, on the front of our card right here. Maybe one kind of off the top on that side. There we go. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this inside panel right there in the corner. Close that up. And then I'm pulling out my dots. There's some dots in this set. There's a larger dot and a smaller dot. So the larger dot is about 3/4 of an inch wide. And I'm going to use my lemon lime twist. Nice. You might get 2 cards in here, Mary. So I'm going to take my lemon lime twist, and I'm just stamping it randomly around the edges here of this card base. Maybe I want one up there. And then I'm also going to put one inside right down there. Okay. Then I'm going to grab the smaller circle and do a little Coastal Cabana. Okay. As a Barry Manilow fan, I've seen Barry Manilow I mean, I haven't seen him for a long time, but I've seen him 5 times in my life, I think. And he held my hand during a concert with my friend Becky Phelps. Our husbands were horrified, but we ran to the front of the stage, and while he was singing It's a Miracle, he reached down and he held our hands while he finished the song. Yes, that is my moment of fame there. That's the best I can do, and I loved it. I love telling that story. Okay, there's a lot more to it, but that's the fun part. Okay, so this is going to go on the front, but I'm going to wait just a second until I get some of those rosettes done. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and glue this one to the inside. But how did I get on Barry Manilow? Your guys are going, how did she get on Barry Manilow? Because every time I say Coastal Cabana, I want to say Copacabana. It reminds me of that song. Okay. Yep, I'm weird, but it's okay. That's why you love me, right? Okay, so now I have 3 colors for my little rosettes here. I have Berry Burst, and I have Lemon Lime Twist, and I have Coastal Cabana. Okay, now on all 3 of these, I'm going to stamp the rosette in the matching color. So I'm going to stamp a Coastal Cabana one on the Coastal Cabana. Okay, I'm going to clean that off. I'm going to stamp a Lemon Lime Twist on the Lemon Lime. How old was I? So, Dana, that was when, and the first time I saw him is the first time that he held my hand while he sang to me. It was in Omaha, Nebraska. In 1991, I think. So I was 29 years old at the time. Okay, there we go. There's my Lemon Lime Twist. And then he came to either Lincoln or Omaha several times after that. And we went and saw him every time we could. So, love me some Barry. I loved him when I was a teenager. I honestly probably haven't seen him in 15, 20 years, but anyway, he has a show in Vegas, but my friend Becky went to see him, and he had to cancel because he had a bad hip or something. So that tells you where we're at with Barry Manilow these days. So anyway, it was fun. Do you guys ever have songs that you sing that you think of when you're stamping? Coastal Cabana is always a Copacabana moment for me. Okay, so we're going to pull out this piece right here, which is the piece that lines up with that rosette. Okay, but what I'm going to do on the Berry Burst one and the Coastal Cabana one is I'm going to add this die in the center, and it's going to cut out some cute little holes in the center. Okay, so I need to grab my Post-it note tape here. Get that all lined up the way I want to. Maybe a little bit over that way. There we go. And I'm going to run this through 3 times just like that. There's one. And when I pull this out, you're going to see that that inside piece only cuts out the little holes. It makes the little holes on the inside right there. Okay, got to put a little fingernail action to it. There we go. So there's one of our rosettes. I'm just going to lift this up just as it is and move it. Since it's taped together, just line everything back up again and run it through again. There's the second one. I got smart. And when you use a piece of fabric softener sheet, it will collect those little dots under there. So that's your little tip of the day. Most of you probably know that already, but it works well for me. Okay, there we go. I'm lining up all those tips with the tips on the die. And I'm going to run this one through. And then the lemon lime one, I'm not going to put that centerpiece on there. I'm just going to cut it out with the outline because we're going to add a little flower rosette to the center. Okay, so there's my Coastal Cabana one. I'm going to put the inside piece away. This one's going to have just the outline, right, like that. Takes a little patience sometimes. And then I'm also going to cut this flower design as well. That's funny that you guys do the same thing. Maybe it's what we all think of when we hear about Coastal Cabana. I used to have a customer, Laura Paulson in Lincoln, and she and I would always break out into song on different things from classes. It was always fun. It was always fun. Okay, so I'm cutting out this little rosette there, that little flower, and then I should say this rosette here. Okay, I think I have everything I need as far as my rosettes are concerned for that one. And for the future ones, I've done most of the cutting ahead of time. I just kind of wanted you to see how that worked. So let me put all that off to the side. Okay, so on my front here, I'm going to put some, she'll have a couple little chads going on there. Some flat glue on the back. I'm going to put one about right there. Put another one kind of down here, overlapping them just slightly. Then my Coastal Cabana one is going to have a couple of dimensionals on the back. Isn't this fun? I just think this is a fun, very celebratory set that's fun to play with. And then I'm going to take my flower and I'm going to put a little dimensional, do I have my minis here? I do, lucky me. A mini dimensional on the back center of that flower. And then pop it in the center. And I kind of want to offset the inked parts with the rosette on the top. There we go. And you can fluff that up if you want. You know, it's going to end up getting all smashed in the envelope anyway. But this is going to actually get popped up right here. So on this side, I'm going to put some flat glue. And then on this other side, I'm going to put a dimensional. There we go. So cute. Okay. Now I have a piece of basic white that is cut pretty little here. It fell under my glass mat. Here we go. And on this piece, let me see about what this, right now it's about 7/8 by about 1 3/8, but I'm going to end up cutting that down a little bit. So you just need a little piece right there, okay? And I'm going to grab my blueberry bushel. See how all these colors coordinate? They're all colors that are in that full of life paper. And I'm going to stamp inside this happiest birthday. There we go. And I might chop it down just a little bit, make it a little bit skinnier. There we go. Okay, this is going to go on the front, but I'm going to take my ribbon, and I know some of you don't like this, but sometimes I feel like the ribbon is a little bit too wide for what I'm doing. So I'm going to take my ribbon and I'm going to cut it down right down the middle. And I'm going to use 1/2 on this project and 1/2 on my next project. There we go. Put that off to the side. I'm going to do a faux bow because I don't want a big huge knot glaring at me underneath my sentiment. So I'm just doing a little faux bow. I'm going to grab a piece of tear and tape here. I'm going to attach this right here. And then my happiest birthday is going to pop up right on top of that. So I need flat glue on the H side. And I need a dimensional on the day side. There we go. Happiest. Oops, it's a little crooked there, isn't it? Let me straighten that up a little bit. Cute. Okay, so this is going to go on here. Do you guys like that? And I'm going to, let me trim off some of my ends here. They're going a little crazy. I'm going to grab my gems. My tinsel gems, and I'm using the darker ones here. I don't know, maybe I want to use the pink this time. I'm going to use the pink ones. So just sprinkle on some of the tinsel gems wherever you want. You know, I like to use odd numbers, so maybe put another one right over here on this edge right there. This is going to get attached with dimensionals, and then we are done with card number 1. Let me know if you've played with this set before. It's always been like, oh, I'll do that one next week. I love that one. And then I just, you know, here we are. But I'm glad it's carrying over. And we can continue using it, right? I might make more of these same cards that I'm making today because these would be great birthday cards just to have in the stash, right? For when you need it. Always needing birthday cards, thank you cards, and unfortunately, sympathy cards, right? Oops! Oh! My friend Brenda was screaming at me just then. Don't do it, Judy. Don't put it on upside down. Okay, there we go. So that is card number 1. What do you guys think? Do you like it? Don't you just love all the dimension and fun that these rosettes bring to a card? And it is just happy, isn't it, Dana? I agree. It just makes me so happy. So that's card number 1. I'm going to put this one away and pull out. Card number 2 has a totally different look, and I just love it. So card number 2, we're just making those rosettes look like daisies. Isn't that fun? Isn't this a fun, cheerful card? So, so much fun. Now you do have to cut these out. several times, right? And they're double layered. All of them are double layered, but it's worth the effort. And then I want you to know that these leaves here came from the Thankful Garden Suite that we did a couple weeks ago. But these are the leaves that we used for this project today. And I've done most of the cutting ahead of time just to save us some time, because it does take a little time to cut out all of these little rosettes, okay? I cut them out two at a time. I doubled my paper and cut them out two at a time, which helped a lot. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to pull all my pieces for my flowers out of the way real quickly. And then I'll show you how I put this together. You're going to love it. There we go. Okay, so for the inside of the card, first of all, my card base, 5.5 by 8.5, scored down the middle at 4 1/4, right? Granny apple green, 5.5 by 8.5, scored down the middle at 4 1/4. Okay, I have a basic white insert here. I'm going to move this out of the way. Always clear off everything around me before I go live, and then I just throw everything everywhere. It's my style, I guess. So in the inside right here of this card, we are going to stamp Time to Celebrate, and we're going to stamp it in Azure Afternoon ink. Right here. Bottom right corner. Okay, so I'm going to attach this to the inside of my card and have that just done. And then I can focus on Bye, Mary. Have a good rest of your day at work. I'll be here for replay if you need it. Okay, so that's just going to go inside. Next, I have a piece of pumpkin pie that we have run through with the exposed brick embossing folder. It just gives a little texture to the background. Okay, so this is going to get adhered right on the front of our card right here. It goes from end to end. It is 3.5 inches by 5.5 inches. Okay, so I'm going to adhere this on the front of my card. I'm going to center it as best I can. There we go, right like that. Okay, so the texture is awesome. Then I cut a piece of that Full of Life paper. It's the one with the greens and the yellows and a little bit of pumpkin pie in there. And it's going to go right across the front of my card, right like that. Okay, so let me adhere this. Just gives another little pop of color from behind those flowers. Adds a little interest. Let's see, did I put, yes. I put the greens on this end. Not that it matters, but you know, trying to be consistent. I'm working on my consistency here. Okay, right like that. And then I have a little extra on the side here that I'm just gonna snip away. Boop, right like that. Okay, now I have cut 3 of these leaves from that Thankful Garden die set, and I'm just going to add some liquid glue to this. Just a dot here on the tip. This one's going to go right here. This one's going to go over here. like it kind of going off a little bit. There we go. Off the edge of that pumpkin pie. And then this one is going to go down here at the bottom. Oh, look, this one has a little adhesive sheet on it. I think that happened by accident, but it's a happy accident because adhesive sheets make your project an instant sticker. So I don't even need to use my glue on that one. There we go. There we go. All right. So now here the fun starts. I'm going to take each of these flowers. I cut this one out of the tip that has the pointy end on it. Can you see that? Okay. And then the yellow ones, Daffodil Delight ones, I cut out of the more rounded tip ones. Okay. So all we're going to do is take two of these and layer them on top of each other and try to offset those petals just a little bit to give it a little bit more dimension. There we go. I'm going to do that. I've cut 6 white ones and 4 yellow ones. Just going to keep this process going. So tell me what you've got planned for Easter. My husband and I woke up today and I'm like, we don't have any Easter plans. We are going to go to Abilene, which is about 2 hours away, to visit our my sister and Jim's sister and brother that all live there, just to get away. We haven't seen them since Christmas, I think. So we're just going to go spend a Friday, Saturday with them. But when your husband works for a church, as well as your daughter and son-in-law, they all have to work on Easter Sunday. So we need to come back and be here for our church family on Sunday. But we haven't planned lunch or gatherings. I mean, we usually have a group of people over, and we haven't even chatted about it. So I think it's just shouldn't be sneaking up on us because it's so late this year. There we go. So there's my white ones, and I've put the little die cut circle of the Daffodil Delight on the inside. I have a little extra one here. I'll hold that for later. And then I have 4 of these Daffodil Delights. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to add a little bit of glue in the center and double them up. And a little bit of glue in the center and double it up. So, if you weren't here at the very beginning, I made an important announcement about, now I'm just adding a white circle to the inside of each of these, okay? There we go. I wonder if I can offset those petals without tearing this, but I think it's going to be, probably should just leave well enough alone. Big changes tomorrow on the Stampin' Up website. Everybody who spends $20 or more is now going to get rewards, so you don't have to spend $150 or get your friends together for $150 anymore. Now, anybody $20 or over can get rewards, but you have to opt in. You have to set up a customer account and opt in to get those rewards, okay? So there we go. Those are all my flowers. I pre-cut all of those. Didn't take as long as it would seem, but it does take a little bit of time. I'm going to start with my white ones, and I'm going to pop all of these up, okay? All of them are going to get dimensionals on the back, so maybe I'll just flip them all over, grab my dimensionals here. There we go. I love Easter. I love celebrating the risen Christ. It's where my hope lies. And I love just the season of new life, right? And all of that. Okay, so Easter's always been a favorite holiday of mine. Okay, so this little daisy, how cute is this? Isn't it fun that we made these into daisies? I love this card. Actually, Monica created this design. My friend Monica, who I collaborate with, she's an amazing designer, and I just love the colors. And I love, these are all my favorite colors, green and yellow and orange. I have a lot of green, and well, I have a lot of orange in my house actually. Um, Orange accents. I have a lot of gray and white, but I use a lot of orange accents. So that's fun. Okay, and then this one I'm just gonna kind of tuck under right like that. What do you guys think? Isn't that fun? Okay, and then this is a piece of balmy blue. Right now it is 1 inch by about 5 inches, but I don't need that much. I just purposely cut it a little bit long. And as always, if you love what I'm doing today, send me hearts and thumbs ups and share with your friends. All of those things really help my business. So I'm stamping happy birthday on balmy blue with azure afternoon ink there. And I'm just going to cut this down. So I'm going to use my mini paper trimmer from years ago. And I'm just going to go straight here. I'm going to cut the width off a little bit here so it's not quite so wide. It looks like it's going to end up being about 3/4 of an inch wide. Okay. And then I'm going to cut my happy and my birthday apart. There we go. I'm going to pop up happy right up here in this top right, and it might overlap my flowers just a little bit. Guys are being quiet today. Maybe I threw everybody off by coming on early, huh? I appreciate those of you who are watching. I have an appointment at 1 o'clock my time, and I didn't want to feel rushed about getting these projects put on, and they do take a little more time with all the die cuts. So okay, so I'm going to grab that other half of that ribbon from the last card. I'm going to do the same thing, create a faux bow. I'm going to tuck it kind of right underneath that bottom daisy right there. And then this birthday is going to go right on top of it down here at the bottom, right there. I'm going to add some flat glue at the top here. And I'm going to grab my mini dimensionals, which I have obviously thrown someplace I shouldn't have. Here they are right here. And they are going to go down here on the bottom. And I'm just going to adhere that right there like that. So cute, isn't it? Isn't that a fun idea to make those into daisies like that? I don't know if you guys had seen that before, but I definitely haven't. I'm going to grab some of my gems here. I like these green ones. I'm going to pop these on around my project. And maybe another small one. About right there. There we go. So that is card number 2. Let me know your thoughts on that one. I think it's super cute. Now this last one is certainly a wow card because we are making one of those rosettes, which is going to be fun. So let me put all of these things away. I'll pull them back out at the end to show you them all over again at the end. Okay, and Here we go. I was like, where did it go? It's right here. Okay. So this is our last card. I want to show this to you because it's super fun. So this is one. Thank you, Teresa. This is hi, Becky. Thanks. I told our Barry Manilow story at the beginning of this video today, Becky. Very short version, but I told him how Coastal Cabana always reminds me of Copacabana, which reminds me of Barry, which reminds me of our experience of him holding our hand while he sang to us. So Becky's been my friend for 36 years. So we've been through a lot together. So anyway, how fun is this? Look at all the dimension on that. The inside of the card, I love how we cut out the little circles on the inside to kind of bring the inside to the outside. So they wouldn't have known it was you, Becky, except I just told them it was you. So there you go. There you go. Okay, so I did some of the cutting ahead of time to save us some time. But this is a... Oh, you're funny, Becky. I told him you went to LA to see him and he had to cancel because he had a bad hip or something. So that tells you that we're still loving a man that has gotten very old. Okay, so this is Blueberry Bushel. It is cut 5.5 by 8.5 and it's scored at 2 1/8 and 4 1/4. And so we're going to create a fun fold with this, okay? Then I cut one of those pieces of that full of life paper. It's the back side of the like water blotched kind of bokeh design. But it's got all those blues in it, right? And we're going to adhere this to this side panel. This is 5 3/8 by 2. 5 3/8 by 2. And it's going to go pretty tightly on the front panel there, and I just messed it up, so let's fix that. It came a little bit too far in. I'm going to try that one more time. Should have used liquid glue, right? So I had the wiggle room, but it's going to be fine. There we go. Right there on that front panel. Whoop, like that, okay? Now, I'm going to go ahead real quickly and do the inside panel. And what we're using is these dies that have the circles in them. There's 2 of them. One's a little smaller than the other one. Let it focus there. Okay, so I'm putting one of them. Let me see here how I do that. One of them, the big one right here, a small one right there. I'm going to grab my Post-it note tape and hold those in place. And then I'm going to move my small one down kind of off to the corner right here. So let me run this through. I want to use that that dryer sheet again just to catch all of those little chads in the center of that circle. All right. So you can see it kind of catches those chads there. Pull it up. And then the small one, I'm going to move over slightly here. So it's kind of falling off the corner down here at the bottom. And I'm going to run it through all over again. So the dryer sheet underneath it really helps with detailed dies that have tiny little chads on it like that, because that fabric sheet will grip those little circles, and so you don't have to deal with them. See, it came right off. So that is going to go on the inside here. Of my card base. Right, like that. Okay, now before I forget, I'm going to go right to that rosette because it takes a little time and it needs a little dry time on it. Okay, get a little bit in that corner there. So this is just going to fit right inside like that. Super fun. Okay, so on these, I cut 2 panels of that full of life paper. And I'm going to grab the die right here, this die right here. Now, one side makes pokey ends and one side makes scalloped ends, okay? We're going to use the pokey sides for this. And I'm going to lay my die, I'm going to cut them out both at once right here on this designer series paper. I don't really want the yellow part. I just want to focus on those blues and greens this time. So I'm going to run it through right like that. And then while this rosette is drying, we can finish the rest of the card. All right. So when it cuts out, it creates this piece right here. And I don't know if you can see all the score lines in it? Those score lines are going to help form that rosette, okay? But first, this little tab end right here, this little tab is going to get attached to this end right here of the rosette. Okay, it's going to attach right there so that it makes it easier to make a really full rosette if you have 2 of them that are attached to each other. Okay, so I'm going to grab my liquid glue here. I'm going to add a little glue to that tab. And I'm going to press those together and just hold it just a second. And then I'm going to start at one end, and I'm just going to start accordion folding along those score lines, folding up this rosette. Back and forth, back and forth. Pressing it every once in a while to get a really good fold on those score lines. Keep going back. There we go. I don't know why something weird's going on right there. Oh, that's where I adhered them together, but it'll be fine. Just keep going back and forth all the way down. Then actually putting this rosette together is pretty easy. Just want to make sure you have some good liquid glue. I'm going to go from this end here. Okay. There we go. Keep going. Told you it was going to take a little bit of patience, but once you get it all folded up, it's a breeze after that. We used to have a really big die that made these rosettes. Do you guys remember that? Let's see. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, we're all accordion folded there. All right, now we're going to pull this tab around and we're going to glue it to this other side right there. So I'm going to put a little liquid glue right here and make it into kind of a circle. Right like that. I'm just going to hold that there a second. All right. Now I've cut 2 of these larger circles and they kind of have a starburst on the center, We don't really care about the starburst on the back side, but on the front side, we're going to need it. So I'm going to choose the one I like the best. And then I'm going to choose the other one for the back side. So I'm just adding a good amount of glue to that right there. And then I'm going to take my rosette, and since I want the pointy ends on the outside, I'm just going to smush all of these in to the center, right like that. Okay, see how it created that rosette? So I'm going to smush it all to the center, and then, well, maybe I should have done the top one first. Let's do the top one first. Once I get the top one on, then I can move the whole thing onto the bottom one. There we go. So that circle has the glue on it. It's going to kind of hold that all together. And I say that as it pops up. So I'm going to grab my block, and I just kind of laid it on top and just kind of held it in place for just a moment. I feel like I'm making this look way harder than it should, but it does take some patience, I'm not going to lie. And then flip it over, grab this other rosette piece and put it on the other side. If you want, you can grab another block, and it's going to hold that all down for us. We're going to just set that aside for a moment, let that all kind of gel while we finish the front of the card. Okay, so Becky, I don't know if you're still here, but what are you guys doing? Becky always does really fun things for Easter. I was telling them that we woke up this morning and realized we hadn't really thought too much about Easter Sunday lunch like we usually did. Last year, we kind of had some young couples over and had an Easter egg hunt, which was fun. Don't know if that's going to work at this point this year. I don't know. Might be too late to plan something like that, or it might be that people are looking for a place to go. We'll just have to wait and see. Okay, so I embossed this white panel with the dotted circles embossing folder, this one right here. The balmy blue is 3 3/4 by 5, and the white was 3 1/2 by 4 3/4, and I embossed it with those dots embossing folder. This is going to get attached right here to the front of the card base with dimensionals, but only on this panel right here, because we don't want it to adhere to the inside. So I'm just going to add some dimensionals right here, like that. And then I'm going to add dimensionals along this edge over here. Grab my scissors. You know I like to use all those edges. And I'm going to pull my dimensionals off. And by the time I get this front decorated, that rosette will be all ready to go. Like that. All right, I have a couple of pieces here. I've cut 2 of those pointy rosettes. Hi, Christina. Oh, it's okay, but these are awesome cards. You're going to want to watch the replay for sure. Okay, so I cut 2 out of Lemon Lime Twist. I'll show them all here when I'm done with this project for sure. You're so sweet to think that you might be missing me while your company's at your house. That's very sweet. So, okay, another one kind of down here in this corner like that. I cut one out of Berry Burst, and this one has the rounded, I'm not sure it matters, but this one has the rounded edges on it. And it's going to go kind of off the edge on this side. And then I've cut two of those circles in Berry Burst just to add a little kind of confetti element to it. And this one is going to go right here. And then I have another one over here. I keep harping on this, but it's important for you guys to know that the Stampin' Up! Website will be down for several hours tomorrow while it revamps for the new reward system. And so if you get an error message, they're still working on that. They said it would take about 6 hours. And they were going to start at 8 a.m. Mountain Time. So I just want to make you aware that that is going on. Okay, so I have This Is Your Day stamped inside of this white one, and I cut it out just like I did those on the other card. I just put the two dies inside of each other and cut the dots out at the same time that I cut the scalloped edge out here. I'm going to grab my Azure Afternoon, and this is going to get stamped towards the top of this circle. This is your, and then day is going to get stamped underneath. This is your day. You could also say this is your week, this is your year, this is your month, right? All of those stamps are in that stamp set as well, right underneath there. Cute. Okay. Now for this one, I went rogue and decided I really liked this ribbon. This is called the Lost Lagoon Soft Cording. It is part of the Otter set. See, that rosette's perfect now. I can add that to the front of my card. I'm going to add a little bit of this cording right down here underneath my sentiment, but I need to put my rosette on first. And I don't like that that's a little off-centered there. So I'm going to try to pull this up and fix that. It was a little not in the middle. And it looked weird. So let's try this again. I'm going to add some glue. Right around the edges there. This is going to get adhered right here on the front, and you don't need to pop it up because it has plenty of dimension on it already, okay? So I'm going to add some liquid glue here to the bottom. And this is going to lay right about there. Maybe I'll put a block on to hold it in place. Okay, so I'm grabbing some of this cording, this Lost Lagoon cording, and it is going to get put on the back side of my sentiment circle right here. Let me grab some tearing tape. I want it to kind of go off a little bit off the edges of my sentiment. Like that. I'm going to hold it in place with some tearing tape. I'm going to pull that and do it a different way. There we go. I like it kind of going sideways like that. Okay. Now I'm going to attach this right here, but you see how this pops up underneath here? You're going to need a couple of dimensionals under there. So right here in this little spot right here, I'm going to add 2 dimensionals on top of each other. because there's a lot of space here between the rosette and the bottom of the card, right? Does that make sense to you? I like to keep things all leveled. Okay, there we go. Thanks for coming a little early with me today. I have a Zoom appointment at 1 that I need to be prompt to. So there we go. Everything's all even. So fun. Tons of dimension, tons of pop to this card. I love it. I love the fun of it. And now I'm just going to grab my tinsel dots. I'm going to put one in the center of my rosette right there. I'm just going to sprinkle more around here, maybe one down here at the bottom of that. And I will pull all my cards out here at the end. I think these are fun. And I know it takes a little patience, but it's worth it because what a wow card this is, right? Like whoever gets this card is going to be very impressed with the work that you put into it. This would be a great, you know what this card would be great for? Graduation, right? This would be a great graduation card. You don't have to have a cloak and hat and tassel and all of that. This especially for anyone, right? How fun is that? So this opens like this. Sets up nicely on someone's dresser, right? Super cute. So that is card number 3. Gonna pull them all out here. Here's card number 2, the one with the beautiful daisies. And then this is card number 1 for happy birthday. And those are our cards for today. Tomorrow will be Fun Fold Day, and Wednesday will be 3D Day. So I hope you guys love these cards. I think they're super fun. It's all made with the Round We Go stamp set and the Round We Go bundle. Still available. Looks like it's carrying over, so might as well get started learning how to make these fun cards right away. If you would like a class to go, I will send you the pieces to make these projects in the mail with any order, and you should wait till tomorrow so that you can get those rewards of $50 or more in my online store. I'm having to up my prices a little bit because cardstock is raising in price. So I'm going up about $5. But thanks for watching me. I'm going to move over here to my face and just say goodbye to everybody. Thank you for joining me today. I'll be back here at 10 a.m. tomorrow for Fun Fold Day, and then about noon on Wednesday for our 3D project. So God bless everybody, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.